Thanks, Matt. First, congratulations to Mike and our Lady Cajuns for their accomplishments and being able to go in there and dominate that regional, now headed to the super regional. So congratulations to you, I think, and good luck. I think anytime any of us can get on TV and get our university's name out there in a positive light, I think that's huge. So congratulations to them and best of luck to you. We got some work still to do. We come off a good weekend. Our guys did a good job of being able to handle really a team that was struggling, being able to sit in a hotel every day waiting for a 6 o'clock game, and then doing it again the next day waiting for a 6 o'clock game, and then doing it again the next day waiting for a 6 o'clock game. So I thought they did a good job of handling so much downtime and being able to play somebody that wasn't real exciting, in the sense we knew that their season was pretty much over, and then the amount of downtime we had to handle. So they did a great job. Now what we've got to do is, get it ready for the weekend now as we move into the tournament, get ready for this Wednesday night at 7:30. So our goal is to, we started the year wanting to at least, hit the 40 mark as a minimum goal for us. We've got that in our sights. We wanted to win a conference championship. We let that slip out of our hands. But we do have a second shot at it to try to win a conference tournament championship this weekend. So this tournament's going to be good. It's going to be salty. There's some teams in there that have been good and good over a long period of time. And now everybody's got to try to get good over a short period of time. So whoever's going to do that the best is going to be the champion in this tournament. So we look forward to getting started, forward to hosting it, and getting ready for a good quality baseball tournament. Questions you might have?
I asked the guys about depth for you guys this weekend. Having Chase come through with a couple big hits, just confidence-wise, and maybe get going for the postseason. How big is that for him?
Well, I think it came at a good time for him. We were running out of games, and he had, been struggling, and but he continued to work. He continued to work to try to get through it. Him and Matt had really worked hard over the last week or so and trying to make some adjustments in his swing. His BP prior to that game was very good, and the situation arose that we could get him into the game. And we went ahead and did that. And of course, baseball will pay you back if you put in the time. And he hits a grand slam, and then now, he feels a lot better about himself. So it was good for him, and good for us with depth, because now we're going to need him through a long, hot tournament. It's going to be hot on that turf over the next 4 to 5 days. So you're going to have some depth, and having him back is huge out of the left side for us.
And also just how pleased with the bullpen, their performance this weekend going forward, when you're probably going to use them a lot and often.
Well, I think you're going to have to, because of the heat. Starters are getting up there in innings. I know Austin's over the 90 inning mark. So as a sophomore, so LSU this weekend, decided to rest Nola as a sophomore arm because he was hitting the 90 innings pitch mark. So I think all these pitchers are nearing these starters, are nearing high innings. So now I think that the importance of a tournament is going to be, and the heat is going to be bullpens. I really believe that. So this weekend we tried to make sure that we threw a lot of our guys, matched them up, come out in a pen against lefties and righties and stuff to try to get them all as sharp as we could going into this week, because I really believe that the bullpens are going to be used a lot throughout this tournament because of the heat.
I remember you saying at the end of last season that, hey, you got to fix this thing because you're hosting next year, and to not be in it and host would be embarrassing.
Yeah.
But if you had to pinpoint one thing, what's been the biggest thing to the key to the turnaround to put yourself in this position now?
Well, I think just not panicking, and realizing that, we were very young. We had a lot of injuries last year. Tommy John rehab. We lost Traffica. We still don't have Traffica. We lost Strengths for the whole year. We lost Ben Carter for the whole year. Harrison signed pro on us last year. So just try not to panic. And I think the influx of the 3 junior college guys have been enormous. And Caleb Adams, what he's been able to do, and Dex Kerstad and Harrison. Those 3 guys have been really a big plus because they've taken a lot of pressure off of Butler and Strentz. They've allowed those 2 guys to go down and hit in the 7 and the 8 hole. So I think they've been protected a lot more. We felt that when we started the year we could hit. We just were worried about the pitching staff. We just felt that was where we were the most inexperienced, that we'd have to pitch to be able to get where we wanted to be. But we thought the hitters would buy us some time because they would be able to score some runs. So I think really it's the influx of the 3 junior college guys and the guys really buying into a new hitting system from day one after the season was over, because Coach Deggs and I had talked, you know, when he came on board March 1st of last year, we felt we wouldn't change anything because there was no way we could get all of it in time. So we sat where we were, which was not fun, but the day after, you know, the Monroe debacle, we went to work, and you know, we put in a whole new hitting system, and it's paid off for us, not just to be as, you know, leading the conference in certain things, but we lead the nation in certain things. So that's a tough thing to do in such a short time, because our kids left for the summer. We didn't get them back till August, so really nothing really changed till August 15th when they got back to us. So we had August, September, and October, November. They went home for Christmas. So, and as Shug said, a lot of it is just baseball paying them back. They spent a lot of time hitting. I mean, like he said, they were out there sometimes 2 hours before practice hitting before we started hitting. So I think that's made a big difference with us. And again, the influx in the junior college guys mixed with the age coming back from last year, I think when you add all that up, that's what's made the biggest difference and bought some time for this inexperienced pitching staff.
What about the system works for them? Is it just them realizing what kind of hitters they are and not trying to be something they're not? And also, how did they buy into it with like what seems like no resistance, just buying into it immediately?
Oh, well, I can't say it was with no resistance, but the resistance didn't last long. But I think a lot of it is you've got to sell out. I mean, you've got to sell out for it to work. You can't just stick your toe in the water. I mean, you got to jump in, and I give them all credit. You know, along the way, you did have a few guys that, wanted to protect one little area, but as we got going, and more guys, you know, cashed in their chips and sold out, you know, it got better and better along the way, and I just think that the approach that they gained out of it made us just better hitters day in and day out. And then when we put 9 guys doing it all together, it became that much more of a weapon, because there's no holes in the lineup. The worst thing you want is, you know, one person that's held a chip back, you know, or a couple chips, because now the pitcher's going to smell that. He's gonna realize that there's a hole in that lineup, you know, a spinner, somebody that don't want to do what we're asking him to do, and so that pitcher will attack that hole and then start to work around people to get back to that person. And so, which really helped us, and the reason you want every hitter to cash in and do what you want them to do is because it doesn't allow the pitcher a way out. And that's what really we've been good at is the Butlers and the Strentzes, who sometimes can be spin hitters. Now they're hitting change-ups off the right center field wall. And when they do that, that pitcher panics, because he thought, man, you know, the chart showed 2 spinners. I can get out of here on 1 ground ball, double play when he pulls it, you know, to the shortstop. But when they hit it off the right center field wall, it confuses the pitcher, because now there's no spinners in the lineup. And when there's no spinners in the lineup, you know, the pitcher panics. He doesn't know how he's going to get out of this. And that's what I think we've done a good job of. You know, Wine's their best arm. He was blowing and going on us on Friday, but we worked him so hard, you know, that we were able to finally break him as the game was going away. And we would have never been able to do that without 9 guys wearing him out, because he never had no holes. He gets Dylan Butler 0-2 with 2 outs. Last year, you flip any breaking ball in, Dylan's probably out because he's a spin hitter. But instead, he works the count all the way back to 3-2, and they walk him. And that was the difference in the game. His legs started cramping. He had to come out of the game. They bring in another arm. Compton comes up to the plate. It's a grand slam. So you know, again, that's what happens to pitchers when all 9 hitters stay on track, is that they panic. They got to work so much harder to get out of an inning. And that's what the Omaha team did so good to people, is they might not got you in the first and the second inning, but they just wore you down because there was no holes in the lineup. And that's what I think's been the difference this year. You know, last year, you know, we were 10th in the league in hitting, and guys still complaining on why we squeeze it to win a game. They thought they should have been allowed to hit. Can't go any lower than 10th. Can't believe you can't figure out why we're squeezing the win. But anyway, so this difference in attitude is I think the biggest issue for us this year. questions.
How do you approach the rotation this weekend?
That's a good question. We might match up with this as compared to just saying, okay, we're just gonna go out with Austin and Booty. So that is something that we're looking at, and we'll make a decision as the day wears on, kind of looking at all the numbers and everything from previous, and then decide what we're gonna do with the rotation.
Tony, you've got a pretty good idea about your opposition in the tournament, obviously, and you know your team. Is there one or two real keys that you're looking for to go into this tournament?
Well, you know, I think we've got to try to, the key for us, I think, is our starters to get us off to a good start, because I think the hitters can take over a game if we don't stake them, you know, to too big of a lead with our opponent. So I think getting us off to good starts, and then I think just the bullpen, being able to come in, because I really think the bullpens are going to play a big role because of the heat. Why in a 6 o'clock night game was cramping so bad in his leg once he hit the 87, 88 pitch mark, the humidity was so bad, they had to finally come get him, and he couldn't even throw a strike anymore because he was cramping in his leg. So I think because of the heat, the advantage is we've got a 7:30 night game, which is big, and I think if we can win and stay in the night game, I think that's an advantage. But I think the key for us personally is getting off to good starts with starters and the bullpen being good, because I think we will hit.
Coach, when you guys played them down there in Florida, and Butte had a real good outing for you, so you've got some flexibility there where you can go either or.
Yes, Booty threw really well down there. You know, Wilson threw well. And Austin threw well. So we got some flexibility. We can look at possibly game 2. You don't want to look ahead, but we can maybe start to match up arms maybe a little bit. We feel our RPI is pretty good at 24 right now, to where we don't think we need to throw somebody 2 times to try to win this thing. We're not going to do that, especially with a young arm or arms that have hit the 90-inning pitch mark. Try to come back and give them 2 starts in this tournament, or a second start on 3 days rest or anything. So you are correct. We can match up a little bit if we want to, and we probably will do that. Again, congratulations, Mike. Good luck.